When you hear the term turbocharged, horizontally opposed four-cylinder engine, I wonder what immediately leaps to mind. For me, it's Subaru WRX. I'm thinking of guys in hoodies ram-raiding the Westfield to nick the ATM. But all that has now changed. Porsche has now dumped the six-cylinder horizontally opposed Atmo engine that used to power Boxster and Cayman, and they've moved to a downsized four-cylinder turbocharged engine in this, the new 718. So let's have a look at the tech highlights and then take it for a drive and see what Porsche's really done. Okay, so in very simple terms, what Porsche has done is that they've retained the central section of the car. So the rear deck lid carries over, as does the roof, as does the windscreen and the bonnet. Everything else is new. Guards, doors, lights, LED treatment, even this very cool little ducktail here. You'll notice this car just carries a 718 badge, but you can have Boxster, you can have just Porsche, you could probably have your middle initial if you really wanted it. Let's have a look at the running gear. Okay, so the first giveaway that this is the Boxster S and not the base Boxster, given by the red calipers. They grip bigger brakes, lifted from the Carrera. As it happens, the base Boxster now gets the former Boxster S model's brakes, so everything has copped an upgrade. Suspension-wise, again, uprights, a lot of the hardware under there is now from Carrera. What we've got is basically a little more purchase, a little more front-end feel, a little more grip. It's all great stuff. So big improvements to the interior as well. First thing you'll notice is the steering wheel looking a lot like the one lifted from the 918 supercar. If you're a bit of a hardware nerd like me, you'll love these little Allen heads holding in the key pieces of aluminium. And down here you'll see the rotary controller for your drive modes, now offering normal, sport, Sport Plus and an individual setting, so you can configure exactly which parameters you want set in the car. Over here, kids, look carefully. This is moving to the endangered species list. This is a gear lever. 6-speed manual in this instance, but most buyers will go for the 7-speed dual clutch box that Porsche calls PDK. Big upgrade to the infotainment unit. It now works really beautifully. Very crisp, clear, touchscreen, responds beautifully. The whole cabin really does now feel fitting for a car pitched at this end of the market. So I guess the first thing you'd notice with new Boxster S is it does sound very different. You can't escape the fact that turbochargers are going to give this car and the engine a very different character. What it means is there's a lot more torque than the outgoing car. As long as you've got 2,500-ish RPM on the clock, there is a solid shove of torque under your right foot. And you might also notice we're in the sport mode at the moment, which has been especially mapped with an engine tuning to give that lift-off crack and popple. As soon as you're off the throttle, you can hear what's going on. What it doesn't quite do, of course, is rev anywhere near where the old engine went. Well, not while making useful power anyway. There is headroom, but the power does taper off pretty quickly at 6,500 RPM. But really, all the work happens in that big, meaty mid-range. In terms of dynamics, well, there's not a lot you can say without just grinning when you drive this car. It's just got such a wonderful telegraphic feel to the front end. You just feel exactly what level of purchase you've got from the tyres. Beautiful levels of grip and feedback come through the wheel. And of course, it's mid-engine, so it just has absolutely beautiful, sublime balance. Find an apex, turn it in, get back on the gas, and it just squats and pivots around your hips. It really is just a beautiful thing to drive. So let's crunch a few quick numbers on the new 718 Boxster. The base car, when fitted with the dual clutch transmission, used to sell for just under 110,000. The new model, it's crept up to just over 114,000. Now its 2-litre Turbo 4 punches out 220 kilowatts and 380 newton meters. It's worth noting that that latter figure is a full 100 newton meters up on the old outgoing 2.7 litre 6. So now to the Boxster S. It used to sell for around 136,000 when fitted with the dual clutch transmission that most buyers go for. That car has now climbed to around 148,000. As for the outputs from its 2.5 litre Turbo 4, well, it's 257 kilowatts, backed by 420 newton meters. Look, I know there's going to be plenty of purists who lament the loss of the Atmo 6, but the fact is Porsche has responded to the regulations moving around them. So what we've got is a car that's not only faster, it's more fuel efficient, and look, it still is absolutely genius to drive.